Our sources have told us that the Canadians are preparing for our invasion. We must use caution. Each battalion has a specific code name and mission. Battalion 5, raise your hands. You will be the all-important first attack wave, which we will call Operation Human Shield.
Hey, wait a minute!
Now keep in mind, Operation Human Shield will suffer heavy losses. Battalion 14? Right, you are Operation Get Behind the Darkies. You will follow Battalion 5 here, and try not to get killed, for God's sake. Are there any questions, then? Yes, soldier.
Have you ever heard of the Emancipation Proclamation?
I don't listen to hip-hop.
And that would be our plan. It is going horribly, boxing. Hold on here. Let me get my screen changed up here. Oh my gosh. Let me go to screen one off. There we go. I missed a couple of them. I've got to give kudos to Strickland, who was in the live chat yesterday, and White. I don't know if I've talked to him or not. They both just took mega rallies from Luca, a maxed out player, and they're still up there on their power. I mean, he's lost some power. I mean, they're not bubble in the middle of the night, but they I've been tearing down our towers. Kingdom 4 wound up being a bunch of big players, and that means limited tame time. I've told everybody that before. Mason, what's going on? Man, forgive me if I don't remember you. The thousands and thousands of people, man. I don't remember people I met yesterday. Yeah, like I got bedhead this evening because I spent all day awake. Today's my mother's birthday. Had to take her out to eat, take her out to dinner. Oh my gosh, I hadn't been shopping with my mom in freaking forever, and now I know why. That was terrible. She's like, squirrel. Just friggin'. Oh my God, look at this. Yeah. Got through the day though. It's fun. Yeah. Went to eat. The Mexican food restaurants here in New Mexico, because of we got the alien thing in Roswell now, the Alien Festival. So we went out to the Mexican restaurant we'd gone to for years, and they just Yankee-ized the food. There was no spice in it. They don't. The nurse turns around, or not the nurse, the waitress goes, "We don't serve Tex-Mex." When my dad asked for a ground beef enchilada, says, "Oh, we don't serve a Tex-Mex." Like they're so superior, they can't serve the food that's made in the area that we live in. Yeah. 10 million power. That was a long time ago, man. Holy crap. 10 million power. I don't know. For 592, I dropped like $1,500 the first night we did the live, right? They opened the kingdom that night, and I dropped $1,500 on the live show. Yeah, no Tex-Mex. I mean, how do you not have Tex-Mex in this part of the country I live in? What was funny though, she told him no ground beef, and I order the ribeye tacos, thinking they're going to be more like fajitas because they're ribeye tacos, right? And they come in, it was ground up ribeye. It's like, you're making Tex-Mex, you're just not calling it that. So we're over here taking some hits from very big players in our Operation Human Shield, which I tried to kind of point out was a very bad plan with this size of a map and this volume, because it only takes a little bit to start whittling away cut up. So let me explain what Kingdom 4 is doing to us right now. We're under the bubble and hide plan now. Don't let them hit you. So whoever's on is safe. Meanwhile, they're pulling down the towers because you're supposed to be safe within your territory lines, right? So they're pulling down towers, and they're placing towers over here, Kingdom 4. And then they're eating up in the middle of the night. Oh, Sir John finally burned. You know, he was just 2 billion power just a minute ago. So he's 1.6 billion power while burning. So he's still got some troops left, but they'll make sure he doesn't. The throttling that I've been talking about for the couple days on the heel deal is definitely what they're taking advantage of here. If they put everybody, I mean, Strickland's like 28K bottom stats. I mean, in his troop stat areas. So, you know, he's not a slouch. You know, not all 42s are equal. He's almost double me. He's 10,000 points above me. Oh, who knows, man? It all blends together at the end of the day there, Mason. I have no clue. Excuse my yawning, folks. That is just rude, but it can't be helped. I am exhausted. I am burning the candle at both ends. I haven't edited any of this film. I got to download it all. So NAP is Kingdom. This NAP Alliance is Kingdom 4. The let's see this bet. Whoever that is, they got nothing left. That's got to be a tower of some kind. I don't have any way of beating that kind of a march anyway. I lose it. I can't beat that cavalry defense. No, nothing I've got. My infantry guards aren't quite strong enough for a head-on, you know, where that cavalry defense guards, the stars drop quicker, so they're more maxed out guards, and the infantry guards, the new infantry guards, come a lot slower. So I don't have anything to offer up against that. Yeah, simulcast on Twitch. There, Thomas, we do. I am the only GOG YouTuber on Twitch, the GOG player on Twitch. Someone told me that the other day. I was like, man, I don't get a lot of stuff. Says you're the only person that does GOG on Twitch. So Twitch is useless, but it doesn't cost me anything. I paid for a year of this multi-stream thing, and so I just click the button and it streams all places at the same time. Raw was kicking players to move them to NWO. So I got an email in my box that says move to NWO because NWO is a more forward thing. But then you got Paper Matthew, who is this great big man child who joined in with the developer crew to go, oh my God, firewalls don't work. Everybody that's trying them says they work. I know Strickland was using one, and he just took 2 hits from the biggest guys in the kingdom and a frickin' mega rally before they whittled him down enough to burn him. So having a volume of troops keeps you in the fight longer. Strickland's out of the fight now, so he's one of our biggest players. And because he wasn't bubbled, and Kingdom 4 is coming around in the middle of the night while people are sleeping and taking people out. Right now, Kingdom 4 seems to be to the advantage of Kingdom 2 with what they're doing because they don't have the ability. Let's see if I can pull this up on the map. Okay, so there's this. Here's Kingdom 4. Here's us. You see this snail trail thing we built in here? Now, they're saying Kingdom 4 doesn't have the ability to advance towards the center. And I don't know how they're reading this map, but I read it differently. Okay? So I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just going to explain what I'm seeing right now with what we're looking at. Kingdom 4 went right around and is walking through this let's put every weak player in the back defense. You know, that's why I played the little South Park. If all you got to do is click on where the bridges are and see that nothing but 41s and 42s are amassed at those bridges, and that's the people playing the game, then you know there's no defense there. There's no secret being given out. If you think your enemy is so dumb that when you come up with a plan, they can't adjust to your plan, you shouldn't be in charge. And one of the other things that I think is a little bit of a problem right now is we have run the great big event the way we run a New Kingdom startup. A couple people went into a room and started making decisions. Some of these decisions are the wrong decisions. I'm just going to say that. This is I pointed out 2 days ago on the live. They says we're gonna guard up the rear. I said, you mean cannon fodder? And they thought I was, and everybody laughed when I said the word cannon fodder, but I wasn't joking. It's a valid tactic. Problem is, no one's willing to employ that tactic. Oh, there's nothing we can do to stop that. Yes, there is stuff we can do to stop that. The tactic they're employing here is attrition. So all these 41, 42s that are unbubbled right now as the towers go down, they're not in the fight in 12 hours. It takes too damn long to get your troops out of the hospital. It's taken me 3 days. I still don't have them all out, right? From the first day hit, it's faster for me to build new troops. So I know Strickland's going to have enough speed ups if he didn't burn them all up right front to build a march. His stats will be in place somewhere, and he'll have to play smart. But he's not going to have the ability to make a mistake. So a very large player that could hold a good mega for us to cause losses. Had he been on, he gone in there, we put 4 million, 5 million people in a tower and then let him hit us, we would have hurt those big players' losses. 500, 600 million at a time. It is taking a $500 million at a time down. So, yeah, Raw, the plan was always leave Raw for this strategy 3 days ago, boxing. That's why I delved off into that. This was the plan. So, yeah, and man, I feel sorry for Sir Licken there because he was in here in the live and he kind of followed me around depending on the other people's bullshit. But then he wasn't bubbled and they took all them towers down because it takes minutes to take these towers down in this test server. The endurance of those towers is squat. It's not even taking a long time. So the biggest complaint is people are getting their asses handed to them. And they're going, oh, I don't want 7 weeks of this. People are going to quit. You quit before the first fight. I hate to tell you, not gonna. You did. In a place where it's not affecting your real castle. You're not putting any efforts forward, showing that those efforts fail and that you got ran over so that I can demonstrate on film for the developers this was a bad idea. You're not putting anything in the game so we can demonstrate that it's a bad idea. You're quitting before you try. I can't help that. I'm here trying to help. I put this out there. They do listen. They do look. They assess, and then they do whatever the hell they want to do, right? But if you want to get your point across that this sucks, it ain't by quitting before you try. I promise you, we need to put some effort in somewhere. So we will see what happens in 14 hours. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the final battle. All right. So that's the plans. I don't know why that's the plan. Well, that's when bubbles come down. A lot of things are bubbled. So, yeah, and then where's it at? Alliance. So yeah, Matthew. So One and Only kicked me out because we were supposed to move over to NWO, NWO kicked me out because they let a man child in on decision making, and he couldn't get his way. Other people were shouting him down besides me, and he went into tantrum mode, which he does. That's one of the reasons I won't join any of those line groups. He's in a lot of them trying to pick information out, but I don't need my day frustrated by somebody else. I'm not going to let that guy determine my mood. Yeah. Games are supposed to be fun, right? All he does is post videos of a march hitting a castle to a German freaking crap roll, whatever that, you know. I don't think Google can even say he's stealing freaking somebody's music rights because it just sounds like four cats fighting in a freaking swimming pool. Yeah, that stuff. I quit over and looking. I turned off the subscribe. I usually follow most of the YouTubers to see what's going on and see if anybody's got some insight. So Matthew's never had an ounce of insight ever. I can't think of one video that's ever been, oh, that's helpful. I could use that in my game. Yeah, and then he acts like a man child because he's not getting what I've got, and he thinks he's going to pick a fight to get it. And I'm like, that's not going to work. Holy crap. What's worse is 2 hours before he did all that crap, I offered him to come in here and promote his channel. That's the thing, is they're running around trying to settle petty feuds that I didn't even know we had. You know, oh, everybody hates you. No, the tantrums are like that's what the test server's for. Is like you say you're offering people insight and information to this stuff, and then you're just in here settling petty feuds because you're not making money at something, and other people are. So it's all my fault he's not making money. You want to get down to he can't make money doing this, he can't get traffic doing this, and it's all my fault. That's what it comes down to. The matchup in the Kingdoms versus Kingdoms portion of this, for real, shouldn't look anything like this, Goff. We're never gonna, I mean, we got Dark Mystic here leading our team, and we're never gonna have him because we would be against him, right? Remember, these are fake kingdoms. Okay, so you got all the bigs, people who teach other players in the game. You know, they go out there and they teach their alliances, things like that. And they come in here, they're learning so that they can teach. They're giving up their time, they're in sleep to do things that are teach. I wrote Jane, no response for now. It's the middle of the night, and this is, since this is a 24/7 event that is going to be out over the course of a month. All right. Now, see, my kingdom should be different than most kingdoms, right? There should be a solidarity movement within your kingdom. We're so small. If they want to start saying, no, I'm going to go do this, or not, no, I'm going to do that, and I hate you, blah, blah, blah. If they can't put their petty shit up aside, keep their pie holes shut, and advance their movement, then I'm just going to walk over people. And I will take our kingdom out all by myself, because I'm not going to listen to 1 minute of how this sucks while everybody sets up why it's going to suck. Not going to listen to a single second of it, because we've spent 6 months trashing the kingdom with trolls, and now we're bribing those same people. And I guarantee you, they ain't been bribed enough to keep me from knocking everybody out. And I'll make sure Kingdom 592 is on the bottom of the fucking list. And I will put the blame squarely on the people who are acting like they're leaders right now. The little runaway children throwing tantrums because they're not getting their way, and they're also not planning. They're not being involved. They're not being active. They're waiting for Thantos to come in here and tell him what he saw. Well, Thantos can't put his wallet on the line. He's a free player. And There isn't but 3 or 4 of us that are. And those that are need to be very watchful of what we are capable of doing, because once we're out, we're out. You know, what you're seeing now with what's going on with this movement from K4 on us, I don't know if we can find, hold on, let me go up here and find, yeah, so what is this? Reinforcing is not smart. They are running megas. Now, I don't know what Kingdom 4, and here's another thing. Developers were dropping food packs, and some of these guys are running around with temporary wonders, which none of us can buy them. So there is access bumping up castles. And the developers put in the notes and made announcements, we will be trashing and harassing people. So they're literally running around and weakening the team. So they're picking and choosing who the winners and losers in the test server are, which we've demonstrated for years. They're doing that in the game. You know, they take people's money. Record the double mega. Oh, here we go. I don't know what they think we're going to record. Hey, look, I'm Matthew. Troops are going to hit a castle. I just stole your market, man. Yeah. Look, the event is supposed to be determining whether or not who you can choose to merge with is the... Oh my gosh, that was exciting. Woo! All right, and she took the hit, guys. I mean, she's not on fire. Good for her. Good job, Jane. Still got 3.8 billion power. Here comes the other mega. That one's going to go flunk too. Let's go. Who's sending that mega? That's Luca. He's a maxed. Whatever his stats are, max. Well, these people aren't on right now, so later this afternoon I'll ask a couple of them to share these reports so we can see what max stats are, because they've got everything that you could possibly have. We'll go hit his profile here. He's 18 billion power, 18.2, right? 18.2 billion. We're just going to show that we don't need to see the. We'll just see if his power drops, right, and by how much, right? That's more exciting than anything. I can at least show that. Okay, so he had the 30-day wonder on. Everybody was bitching about that. It's like, oh, he's got one, but he bought the 30-day one. He blew gold on it. So, yeah, you got to bring that with you. It was already on his castle. That's not temporary. It's good for a month. Is he hit yet? What the hell? He's setting up another mega. Okay, I just had to refresh the things. Didn't lose much though, did he? About 100 million. But he can't replace that unless he brought, 200,000 speed ups hours with him into the test kingdom. They've given us 30,000, so he can replace some of it. This is what we're supposed to be doing, causing attritional loss to the other team. But we're not going to be fighting Kingdom 4. They kind of were so far behind the bubble, they're just doing shit, right? Yeah, there's Aaron Serlickin down. They're not going to give up on him. They're not going to give up on any of these guys. Anybody that's on bubble right now is going to be zero when they get in. I feel bad for them. I mean, they spent all week clicking buttons and waiting on timers to have this kind of stuff happen. But this is what the event's going to be like. I mean, you got to be prepared to take an ass whipping. I wasn't on day. Luckily, they hit me on day one, so I've been bubbled all week. And then they go, you. And then one of the first things that, and this is one of these things I reiterated with what's his name, and he was a good R5. He was really keeping things on the ball from the get-go. So I'm not saying anything bad about him. This is, you don't know what you don't know, right? He didn't know at the time. I didn't know at the time. One and only Jay was a good R5 over there in Raw. But he goes, oh, there's no need to bubble. I see a bunch of people bubbling. There's no need. Yeah, this is why you need to bubble. All right. All they have to do is take a tower down, boom, done. They could have done that on day one. Take a tower down and zeroed a lot of people out and had us all on our heel timers all week long. Right? Which would have been very crappy. No amount of my firewall is going to stop these guys. Just let's be very, very honest about that. They're well above my capabilities to handle in any shape, man. They're well above 20%. They're above 20% just because they got T13s, and then they got another 30% stats on top of their 20% that they got their base troop. This is devastating. So Strickland taking hits was awesome. He took 4 or 5 of them. It looked good. Let's see if I can keep from crashing. Hey, I didn't crash that time. We were still crashing this morning. While my meat shield won't do a whole lot of good, it will do a little bit of hurt. And right now, this is a strategy that's in place. Everybody's in bed. When they come in for the final battle tomorrow, I would imagine people are going to get their sleep in before the final battle tomorrow. So this is a tactic, not a strategy. Well, this is a strategy on Kingdom R4, but not on behalf of Kingdom 4. So I would say that they're working for other purposes or other players, which I do not know. So I won't have, you see, I'm spent all week burning up my damn heel stuff. So when the big fight starts tonight, I won't have 25 million to get stuff done. Just won't have it. So I got to get all this stuff out of here now. And I'll have what I have. Right? I'll have the ability to maybe put 1, maybe 2 marches back together, not 4 or 5, which is what I should have if I'd have bubbled all week long. I mean, I let the person keep hitting me. My screen, you guys watched the first stage live. The screen was flashing light. I didn't care because I thought it was a scout. It's like, who the hell hits people inside your own kingdom on day one, on hour 1, day 1? Developers do. That's who do that. Who does that stuff? Children. Oh, that's crashed. So this is a good lesson in avoidance. You know, an ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure. All right. I made the mistake on day one. I kind of thought, how stupid could people be? And I highly underestimated just how childish and stupid people could be. They've been this way all week long. So anytime there's a no loss event, you have to deal with trolls and people who get, you know, jerk off happy about a number sounding big when they kill something. The I am going to use my other things so that I can build them up faster. Now that's something I should have been doing a few minutes ago, to be honest. I wasn't even thinking. The normal trade goods that we use for research, things like that, I could be using those to heal. That's that selection button I got over there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go add some of those. All right, so there's the thing. I need to write that down on the article in front of the website. Ah. Okay. All right. So the purpose of me stating that is later when things are happening fast and we lose a march in a tower, the volume of our goods in the heal batch is going to determine how fast we can replace a batch. So we want to maintain that. I shouldn't have been doing that. That was a mistake. I should have thought of that before I started doing it, but I didn't. Now I know better. Leave them damn heal goods alone. So, oh, what I was doing. Let me get in here and show you what I was about to go do. I was about to go unlock my pirate stuff right here. My booty box. Collect supplies, collect supplies. All right. And then I'm going to go over here. Go back to my heels and demonstrate. So I'm going to select this. But look, the amount I can do in per batch is still based on this number up here. Right? So I can only heal to the max of that number, which is 208. But I don't have to use that. And so I want that number to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. See, this number is 10% of the number on the left. All right, so there's a good play tip for this. I wish I'd have thought of that earlier. I could have saved myself a bunch of grief. But they don't call it the bleeding edge for nothing. And I finally got all of my troops out, so I'm back up to 1.5 billion power. And I still got some troop trainers. So, train. That's kind of my backup resort, too. Depending on who's megaing what. Because I don't have really, there's a bunch of people with more stats than me in here. So I'm going to be a tower filler. And I completely agree with Lupa's sentiment there. Yeah, this has been a bunch of petty little stuff that I've seen. But man, I've got to back that up. Like if you guys listened to the live yesterday, Dark Mystic called me on the phone. I haven't even gone back to find out if you guys can even hear that. I'm gonna cut that out and make that a separate video because he was very. I agree with everything he said. That we've met way more nice people than we've met shitheads. But the shitheads ruin the fun for everybody. Only takes one bad apple to ruin the whole barrel, right? And you know that's the saying. The Mega Untimbo. Just get a link. Okay, so and see that's one of the jackasses that when I was over at NWO that was in there circle jerking Matthew around. So he's a troll. Just throw him in that boat. He's like, oh my God, there's a place to cause conflict. I'm gonna insult somebody. Everybody got to hear Dark Mystic on the phone. Like, man, this has been good. Everything's like, I didn't hear any spirit of uncooperation. I did question the wisdom of the secret R5 groups, you know, Operation Get Behind Darky plan. And the reason I question it is for the reasons that you saw. We've got to move as a unit to counter that kind of big player. You got to be where he's not. You got to do the exact same thing he's doing. We need to be over there, ding, 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 making sure he can't fill a mega rally up. Okay, Luca's big, but Luca ain't the only one in his mega rally. So who do we take out? When they start a mega rally, who are we rallying back? That's the question. and no one, I every time I tried to iterate the point, I had some jerk off going, oh, just going to jerk. As a matter of fact, he said, I'm just going to jerk off and go to bed. It's so there's no playing to it. Yeah. I was saying it in the Lions chat earlier, like, is there only 3 girls' names in the Russian baby name book? Nika being number 1. Yeah. Dasha. Uh, I don't know if you guys ever see that. I support Dasha Ruby. She's a Russian YouTuber. Uh, she does a lot of Counter-Strike videos. And she works directly for Huawei and, well, or subcontracts for Huawei. One of the things. She's also one of the coordinators for EA Sports and the gaming sports stuff. And she keeps trying to get me to do another Huawei deal, but she can't convince them to come to my terms. And I'm going to make sure she gets all the credit for it, but I don't want it to be a failure, and I damn sure don't want to run my name in the ground a second time with that kind of mess. Business is business. We will bring money in when it's necessary, but I balance short-term money to long-term money. It doesn't do me any good to screw my readers and my viewers over, because then I can't tell them about something in the future somebody wants to pay me to tell them about. You got to review the deal, see if the deals make sense to your audience. Because if it doesn't make sense, then the advertiser had a bad experience. That's never good for the next advertiser. So you've got to have the ability to say no. This deal doesn't work for me because it doesn't work for the people who follow me. Yeah. I always love this little rabbit icon is very popular amongst douchebags in a club of some kind. Yeah. The Once Upon a Time. I think that was like probably the last last portrait they could hack or something. If I went and played in Dark's Kingdom directly, that might be a possibility. The look at I I'm bored. I hate to admit it, but it's not good business to admit it, but I'm bored with this stuff. There's no challenge here for me. Uh, this event is interesting. I'm going to counteract everything everybody else is saying on this and say this has potential to be dynamic. The problem is you're still bringing in the other problems of the trolling. You're still trying to keep what you thought was a good idea 4 years ago while making new ideas, and they don't blend together. This has the ability to be placed inside Guns of Glory in a way to take this game back to passing KOA in volume of dollars. Okay. So if I look at this from a business standpoint of me turning around, helping them come in and fix their business, they've got the studio time fixed. They don't have the leadership to implement it. They don't have the balls to fire the people they need to fire. You know, uh, we were talking about that yesterday about things like, when I do consulting work, no one likes it when a consultant walks into a company. The, you know, basically my job is to find out who needs to be fired, and then management doesn't take the hit. It was some guy that's no longer in the building that told him to make people go away. When I worked for Eaton Semiconductor, by the time somebody called me in for repairs on their ion implanters, they'd been down 5 days. They're usually losing about $1 million an hour while the thing's down. And you call me in there, and every single time, 2 people with a PhD were getting fired before lunch once I walked in the building. Doesn't make people. I used to run around with Mickey Mouse ties on and try and be as pleasant as possible, run around I had to wear a suit back then. Yeah, I don't wear much of a suit anymore. Oh my gosh. My wife's in California. And man, I started a fight today, and she doesn't know it yet. But I got $1,000 today for her motorcycle. That motherfucker's been sitting outside my goddamn shop. She comes in about once every 3 months, borrows my tools, leaves them laying outside. It's gone. I don't know who stole that motorcycle. She don't watch me. I want that thing gone. It is like it's hidden from the yard. It's not like we got a car on blocks in my yard or nothing like that. I got a big 8-foot concrete fence that surrounds this building that I'm in here. And so, but I got a little bitty 10-foot wide, maybe 18-foot wide lawn, like what you'd have like in an apartment complex or something, type of little lawn. So when you walk up to the front door of my business, I got a little flower bed on the right, and I got things. And it's all the lawn care I want to do is that lawn. And she's had that motorcycle planted in that damn piece of lawn for 6 months. And I told her, says, that thing's going to get stolen. Everybody wants that thing because kids keep coming by and asking about it. Yeah, it's gone now. They loaded it up today. Yeah, they oh, you mean over in his main alliance in this kingdom? I'm in Dark's kingdom. I'm in there. And at the end of the day, my audience don't play at that level there, Tom. So it would be interesting for me to go in there and see what the plan and strategy going on that end is. But then at that point, I might wind up not being able to keep quiet about things that I think could be better. I tear things apart and put them back together. That's how I make things better in my world. People don't like things being torn apart, especially if they're ideas. Like that's what I was trying to explain with it's one of those things where, yeah, I'm good at it, but it's not a welcomed process. Okay. It may be good in the long run. This is a test server. It's got no place here. All I can do is take apart little things and help the audience. That's all I can do. So like, hey, you just watch me click improperly on how to heal your troops. I got down to the last bats that I did it right. Okay, but multitasking. I should have thought that one out a little bit better, but it just wasn't. They will not come. I don't, and Tom, I'm not picking on you here, but that you're a face on YouTube, and they will not come. Who's they? That's where it sounds like I'm picking on you. You've got to articulate who you talk to and who spoke for other people. Okay, so that's the conversation that just took place. We didn't hear it, we didn't see it, but Tom talked to somebody and somebody told him no, and now it's they. They implies a consensus, and we don't see that there. But because on the live last night, I spoke to Dark Mystic about this very problem occurring. And this problem was not going to be fixed without some of the big players with support units. One or two of the big players needs to sacrifice what troops they got while we stand behind them sacrificing our troops if you're going to implement this rear shield plan. Okay? It can't be all your weak guys left to die. That is never going to work. There was no math that was going to make that idea valid. None. And take it from a guy who's done this damn March math forever. I promise you, there was when I was they laughed when I said, hey, so we're just basically cannon fodder, just stand in the way and pretend you can do something. The minute they came at these towers and started doing that, everybody ran, started bubbling. If you understand that your position in the fight, if it's a no-loss fight, all right, you can't ask people to spend money on this. They got to be willing to spend money on this. So if it's a no-loss fight, if your position is to lose every troop you got so that the enemy is weaker having dealt with you or your group, that's a valid strategy. Okay? The battle planner, whoever's doing the battle planning, needs to know he has that volume of troops to deal with. So people ask me about, well, what makes you the KVK strategist? They asked me that question yesterday. I was like, I've been doing this for 4 years, guys. And one of the things that we've talked about on many KVKs and lives is volume of troops. So I don't sit down and show up at 3 in the morning and say, okay, let's do KVK. I do some math. How many troops do we have here? How many troops can we put at risk at this one event? Because it takes us 8 weeks for the free guys to replace. And if the math doesn't work out, then the strategy, and then that's where you employ your strategy from there. We can afford to, so for Kingdom 592, I'll tell you where we're at. We can afford to lose 0 troops. We can't take a hit. The only person in that kingdom that can afford to take a hit and recover in a couple of days is me. Everybody else is down for a long time. At least the other coiners are down for at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So there should have been some sorting and organizing, and we should be standing in their way, but it's a little early now. So I went over the strategies that could be employed here, but I also want to point out they're blowing their wad a little early. Okay. There's no amount of, they're losing quite a bit of troops here. But like I said, they gave 30,000 freaking troop training speed ups. So you can throw 4 or 5 marches back together when they get back to playing with other bigs. I'm gonna yawn again. Oh shit. He said we had a strategy center. Well, for whatever it's worth, load gunpowder. I don't think the heal buff would have been the best buff to use on that. We could have bubbled the alliance for 4 hours there. That would have been a little bit better till we got everybody involved. $3, right? I just spent $75, but I got all my Illumination Guard weapons on my main account. I had 3 of them left to do, and they're in the limited deal today. So I spent $75 on there's 2 different limited deals for, I think it was a $9, a $19, and a $49 I had to buy. So $80. But I'm done with my Illumination Guard weapons now, so I got those ready, and I got a whole bunch of stuff ready to upgrade for next event, so I'll get some loot out of that. Guard weapons is one of the places for the big stats, right? Did they just drop new equipment? Did I see something where I saw new equipment somewhere? Yeah. They hammered the new stuff out in 6 weeks. That's one of the things I was talking to DM about last night was whoa, when I see that stuff go bam, 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 that looks like a yard sale. Uh, you know, we're about to screw a bunch of stuff up, or we're about to abandon this platform, and we're going to take as much out of it as possible. Uh, I know my group didn't go in there and buy GOG, but maybe somebody else did, and they're just raping the cash out of it on the way out the door. You know, maybe it may have been sold off. Like I said, all the advertising stopped for Guns of Glory. So if another group has taken over or bought out Guns of Glory, everything could change. Yeah, maybe we'll get a influencer program on the damn thing. Yeah, the it's terrible. Let's go look at. Oh, I just needed to come in here. We had a whole bunch going on, and I was showing that not for the I told you so. This is a test server, so we made a mistake. All right, let's make them here, so you don't make them on your real castle. Right? This is the beauty of the test server. That's the other thing I've had a hard time getting people to get involved in is, guys, you can make mistakes here. Hey, what works, what doesn't work? You can try that here. Was it new COAs? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hell, I hadn't even looked at the last thing they put up. I was like, I don't think I got anything. I haven't got any. I got one gym for free, which everybody got for free. Well, not free. If you guys haven't seen that video, my free gym cost me $45. You know, the there's no randomness to it. There's no gambling. You put X number of dollars in, you get so many ones and zeros out. It's terrible. Yeah. I keep thinking I want to go inside and just watch some TV, but I guarantee you, I go inside, I'm just going to go to bed. If I go to bed now, I'm not. I'm going to be up at freaking like, what time is it now? Oh, it's 3 in the morning. I could go to bed now. How long have we been on here? Oh, we've only been here. I guess I didn't start this live till 2 a.m. You know, a full-time beta for that would allow the trolls to just hang out there and nowhere else, which would be great. But you can fix this problem. There's all these little problems in there, and you can fix them very easily. Simply putting a voting system into place, so that the king can cast votes. He can propose a question, yes or no questions, and pass a vote instead of this that everybody has to react to, versus this five guys in a room somewhere that nobody can see what they say, and everybody comes out and says what they think they heard in there and not what really happened. Oh, wrong. Oh, damn, I didn't even start the YouTube thing today. I got no control. There, I'm in control of my feed. Candles has destroyed people's works, violated people's privacy. He's a shithead little kid who's not 18 years old, and this is an 18-year-old your channel. So, bye-bye. Like I said, guys, I've got no more. I'm getting to the wind down on this thing and hoping somebody else wants to pick up the mantle and run with it in a good way. Right? Well, I'll tell you right now, and I'll call myself a victim of some kinds. You can go into KC and lie about anything. And some of these guys have message bots. And literally it'll look like for a long time it was hard to get people to understand. And now the kingdom knows, but now the damage is done in K592. They used to run on 16 freaking different computers and act like there were 16 different people, and the mob agrees, and it was all the same guy. We'll show. Oh, I can't show you in here. Oh, you know what? I'll open up my other one. See, I was in DHR on day one, right there with Dark. I was in his alliance for all of 30 seconds. My kingdom's #1 troll happened to be in there, and they already promoted him to R4 blindly. And he's the one that's in here. It's called Masturbate on the freaking things. He's the guy. He's a troll. He's like, go in here to my mail. Wait a minute. Oh, wrong one. Will it let me start 2 of these at once? I'll show you the kind of in the world, out the world, childish provoking that just goes on. We'll make sure we use his words. DRH does not need internal conflict. In other words, they don't need a conversation. Because I have a tendency to ask questions, and I ask questions in a way that where when you have to devise your answer to them, you had to think a little bit. So DRH inside Kingdom 1, inside the test server, is being trolled internally. There it is. There's the proof of it. The man wasn't allowed to determine his own team makeup. That's where we're sitting on that one. And I will guarantee you the leadership consensus that's in there is made up of trolls who are trying to make sure that the chess pieces are being determined how to move by their group decision. That's the way those people operate. I killed those people in our kingdom. That's why they hate me. I shut down that we're all in agreement stuff. Okay? That's the tactic they're employing right now inside the test server. And there's the proof that that the very guy, it's like, oh, we're not going to let you in there because I know how to shut it down. I know how to spot it. I know who some of the players are. You know, at that point, we can go in there and just go boom, 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 you're gone. We're going to move forward from here. I wouldn't know who all the players are, so we wouldn't be able to hide anything. You just got to put a plan together that's not worth hiding. You know, it needs to be executable. But that's, you talk about this get along stuff. Right now, Dark Mystic's being trolled by the epic trolls who tried to shut us down in 592. They're his counsel. Yeah, I can't fix that, and I'm not here to fix that. This thing goes poof in one day. It bugs me to see people just blindly getting killed. But there's no way to develop a player's ability to be in a sustained fight. And from me teaching people to do this for years, it takes about 3-4 months before you find somebody who has the will to be in a sustained fight. First you got to have the mental capacity, not just the troops, not the stats. You have to have the will and desire to be in a sustained fight. You have to know you're going to get hit and it's going to hurt. But then you have to also know, I'm going to get up and I'm going to knock the shit out of him here in a few minutes. And if we wind up hitting brick walls and we know we're hitting brick walls, then know when to back off, pull the plug. But these are all things you learn with time and experience, right? What's experience? Experience is what you get shortly after you need it. That's where experience comes from. You are not born with experience. You don't just have experience. You get experience shortly after you need it. I go out and put myself in punch up situations all the time. I'm always gaining experience. That's how we do what we do. I think that's what most gaming guys should do instead of just follow. I mean, just if you're going to be one of these guys that somebody follows because they're, these kids watch people play games. I'm like, you better be epic at that game, and I'm not epic at the game. This is a strategy game. It's designed to move a little slower than a first-person shooter or something like that, and I can't play on a first-person shooter, because I can't keep up with a 14-year-old. If we play team tactics on a first-person shooter, I tend to kill a lot of players because then we can deploy distractions and defenses, and I can sit back and take my time and snipe the shit out of people because I usually play a sniper in that. Nikki. Oh, because I couldn't deal with when I wasn't dealing with 593. Yeah, that was an abandoned cat. That 593 castle. He led your guys' if I'm remembering right, and damn, so many fights in my head, that I shouldn't even be remembering stuff like this. If I remember right, he came out of nowhere and suddenly had the best stats in your kingdom, and that was the one that, he was the one that turned around, and I said, man, don't hit my palace. And he goes, I already ran the bin. I know I'm going to win this. I keep meaning to go back to that KVK and download that and set that in a separate video for those people that are downloading the battle result. If they were going to lose, they'd have recalled their troops and made a peace deal with us. But because they knew that at that point in time, you could stack the troop attack. It looked like an abandoned account that suddenly had nothing but troop attack on it. And it seems like they patched that in the last 7-8 weeks. Troop attack does not have the same effect that it did before. Top to bottom stat ratio is not the same as it was before. And guard interaction is not the same as it was. There's been several layers of modification going on. So, yeah, there's. I remember the conversations. Like, I already ran the bin. A bin is it's a database. Is basically what it is. They're able to pull it up. They're able to pull up the results from a developer login, and it downloads it to them in an Excel spreadsheet. So you got 13 minutes for the march to land in KVK. They're downloading the results of the fight the minute you click go. They know if they're going to win or lose, and that gives them a chance to go perform another click like, mega recall, rally recalls, which aren't cheap, but if you got them, you can get away with them, right? You can always try and put your best foot forward. And if you got a mega recall, woohoo! You get to save all your troops, go home, it's nice and safe. Greedy Guts, always a nice person. Greedy Guts is Australian, that's why he's up. Beastie. Where's he at? Let's see what his power's down to. Man, he ate down much. I mean, so him one-on-one killing most of these small players, he's not down a whole lot from where he was earlier, right? He was 18.2. He's now 18,193. He hasn't lost but 80, 90 million since then. But he's so overwhelmingly big. What's he showing now? I don't have enough for these players. I can tell you right now, that's a developer. See them cat pictures? Asian players. I don't even know what the cat represents to them, but man, always an Asian player, always overstack stats. Avoid the kitty cat pictures. The cat attacks, man. Don't go. There's a little experience you learn over a period of time. Yeah, but what we should be doing is setting up mega rallies against everybody that's filling his rallies. We don't have to deal with Lucia directly. Right? There's another way to fight this war. We're not employing it. I'd start one, but I can't. Not helpful. Right now, this alliance has turned into helping people come in here and get and just have a look around. Is what this has turned into, which is fine. I'm not opposed to that. Just I'm opposed to it being called a strategy by the NWO guys who are not right about how this gets done. I'm going to try and get a couple more things of research done in here. I got my big stuff done. Yeah, I was just showing all your shit talking in the PM mails there, Maya. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be completely different there, Vlad. What we're seeing here is not a representation of how that's going to work. So they did a piss poor job controlling it. If you had any semblance of responsibility in here, you would flag every one of your shit starters and they would never be in another test server ever again. Ever. Because you need that. You need this kind of ability to move the game forward, and this ain't realistic. You're not learning anything from here. You're learning what can we do to affect the outcome. If that's what they're really testing, then they're doing a damn good job of it. Because right now, the only thing I can see here is devs trying to figure out how they can influence the outcome to be what they want it to be for a result they're looking for. So it's working the problem backwards. Doesn't need to be long. I can see potential for this event to be part of a Care Bear system. I don't know if you missed that discussion last night there, Maya. This would be outstanding when you spawn 4 new kingdoms. You run this type of event, and then as people rank in the event, other kingdoms get to invite those people to their kingdoms. So based on how they rank in a cooperative event thing. And then we get to cherry pick, so that new players aren't stuck in new kingdoms. Based on how well they moved around, do stuff, you get to invite that new castle to an older kingdom. That would be an outstanding thing as some type of recruiting method for this. You can't do the research in hyperspeed. The research is the boring part. And look, this could be the Care Bear system that I've been talking about for 4 years. This has the potential to be that. And then we get to invite people from out of there. If they accept, then boom, they're in that kingdom. So you do your kingdom mergers, you clean up your current problem with kingdom mergers, but then you add this to it, knowing that your king gets to send out recruitment invites based on the winners in an event like this out of the kingdom startups. Oh, there's a lot of stuff that has to be tweaked. What they need to do is hire me. I'd fix this. It wouldn't even take long. Depends on how much budget they give me. What's the conflict with DHR? All right. There's no conflict with DHR right now. They're trying to create conflict with DHR. This was the plan. I said it was a silly plan. You guys that were on the live last night, I told Dark Mystic I thought this was a silly plan, but we didn't unwrap. But it was already done. We were 3 days down the rabbit hole. Like I said, I would have broke up some of the bigs and used them in the team same fashion. Look, Kingdom 4 is the one doing things right. They got a small team out here causing attritional loss. They're the ones doing things right now. See, we can't send, and what I was looking at there is, can we send troops back? But I don't even know if I'm an R4. I doubt I am. No, he's got limited number of R4s. Ignore KC. It's just people want, oh, let's go look at the drama in KC. If they're not weakening the kingdom, then it doesn't matter if they're attacking, right? See, Kingdom 4 really doesn't have a dog in this fight at the end of the day, so they're causing chaos on behalf of somebody else. Well, yeah. And the Kingdom merger, when you cross a bridge, Maya, that should be territorial merger as well. Yeah, this, this type of event is made for a guy like me. This could keep me interested. I love the shit out of this, but what wouldn't keep me interested is everybody having an opinion with no knowledge about what their opinion's about. No, 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 no. I went in there and we did this. And they will consider whatever they did that didn't get them killed to be the answer. That's where I've said this before. It's called the just crowd. Just go do this. You've got to employ all the tactics and employ them at the right time, place, and moment. Right now, there should be a strike team on 3 shifts, okay, with 3 bigs leading the strike team. And while Luca's over here doing this stuff, we should be zeroing the people that are joining his rally. We don't have to zero Luca. We just got to make sure he's got nobody to join his megas. Strickland there took Luca, and Luca lost 500 million powers on a solo hit, hitting a C-42. So Luca's not invincible. It's just everybody rolled over and quit before they tried. They didn't come up with any strategy to take tools out of Luca's toolbox. So that's where we're on that. Yeah. Well, okay, but what's the end goal? I asked this question 2 days ago. What happens if we break these bridges in the background? Can you stop a flow of support moving forward? Okay, so this is a valid tactic attempt, and these guys may be using the test server to test a tactic they think will guarantee their victories in the real event. I see the wisdom in what they're doing. Somebody over there smart as shit. Doesn't mean it's Luca. Luca's just big. That's Candle's Brick. He's not allowed on my channel. He's not allowed anywhere near anything I do, period. Destructive little child. People who don't have respect for other people's stuff. He's got homework to do. He needs to get to it. All right. I'm not spending 1,000 gold to stop attacking us. How about we don't freaking whine that much? Not that I want more shout outs, but they're more expensive, so there's that. What'd it take? About 20 minutes for him to go get another Google account ramped up so he could come in here and talk in my live chat. There's no crying in baseball. Sir, she's crying. There's no crying in baseball. Yeah, I'm curious about those things too, Goff. But, you know, you kind of need some cooperative effort for that. No one's willing to. You've got to do cooperative effort. Yeah, that was Candles too. He repeated the same damn question. He found out you were in a kingdom he's in. He was about to go trolling you. That's why I kicked him. That's a great movie. Whatever. I ain't got time for hate anyway. I just got time for pissed off. You got to give me time to overreact, and then I can deal with anything calmly. But I got to get the overreaction out. How many? Yeah, emotion don't keep you alive in the real world. I've learned to tune that out for the most part. Once I get on a focus, then we can start dealing with stuff. Man, Sanctuary seems to have slowed down for some reason. Like they made a modification or they went back to an older patch. They fixed it for a little while, and then like 8 weeks ago, it's back to a freaking crawl. Here's the thing, Vlad. They won't lose in the server that doesn't have any effect. You got one more day to play. Now, I'm going to reiterate again. My strategy is valid, I think, but I also think it's too early. Okay, we need to start doing this. I want to say, well, yeah, I'll just say it. This is a test server. We should be going after their forts and their towers the way they're doing ours, probably 2 hours before the event starts. And with people with gold, this is a gold issue as much as anything. I had 200,000 gold when I come in here, and I made that mistake. So if we set up a rally and you need to run, right? We can set another rally up a few minutes later. But if you're doing that and you're bubbling and running and doing all that stuff where you're doing the stick and move, run and hide, they're not setting up for their attack, right? They're now having to deal with you. This is a, if you don't know what Rogers Raiders are, this is a small unit tactic first employed by an organization called Rogers Raiders. They were the English Special Forces Battalion. They were the start of the Special Forces, and they later became, when the American version of it was the Merry Marauders, underneath Marion, I can't remember his last name. He was a general down in South Carolina during the Revolutionary War. Rogers Raiders was during the French Indian War. So put in a little historical context of why I'm talking about small unit tactics. I literally built a website named after a small unit tactics unit. Right? So I get all people like, who's Roger? Well, he ain't your history teacher. I promise you that. Holy crap. Yeah, we don't teach, deductive reasoning and tactics anymore. It's an invalid tactic, man. Emotion leads to loss. I only get mad when I do something stupid. And people hear me get mad and they think I'm yelling at them. Usually what I'm mad at is I didn't see something that I know I should have seen coming. That's everybody thinks I'm talking about them because I vocalize it. Like I said, you got to give me time to overreact, and then we can discuss what the hell I'm talking about. Because I'll back it all back down and start over. In my mind, I'll back any problem right back down and start over from the beginning. Yeah. All right. But it's 4 in the morning. 5 minutes till. This will be one of my shortest lives ever. Hour and a half. Everybody keeps asking, like, how do you go so long on these things? It's not hard. Man, the audience actually keeps it very interesting. Just sit around and have a conversation. I wish I could drink beer like I used to. Can't do that no more. I have to, because of the health issues, I'm done freaking drinking for the most part. I've been having a wine cooler every once a week or so. Yeah. Yeah, this is. So I'm going to shut this down. I think they're done. I don't know. Are they done? Yeah, we don't got no more wars coming in. They blew their wad a little early. Now they're going to have their trade goods sucked down, trying to heal up their troops. Like I said, for the thing to take away from this, guys, is the tip on the healing your troops. Don't use your heal goods. Don't use these. Use these. Because how many of these determines how fast you can heal. So I don't know any way of getting that damn thing up to 25 million by 4 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah. Yeah. The KC here seems a little hostile. Yeah. KC and these, anytime you get a bunch of trolls reinforcing each other, then they start trying to outdo each other, how vile and volatile they can get. There doesn't have to be any truth. I mean, it's latchkey kids, man. What are you going to do? You know what? I wasn't even thinking about this earlier. Research. I would normally save this stuff for oh, I don't have enough for that. Next test server I'll come in with some of that stuff and I'll burn it up. Where, oh, where can I use those? Nope. Well, I can do that. Wow. Is there anything better than reinforcements? That sucks. Oh, cavalry attack. Oh, I almost. You know, I hadn't looked in there in a while. I need to go over my main account and finish those out. Shit. Well, there's some of it. Holy crap. That's like a hole in my main account. It'd be like a few $100s to fix shit. Yep, I appreciate it. I am going to end the stream here real quick. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. We will definitely live cast the main unless something happens in my day. Yeah. Real world